another episode of Coach's Corner.
Come on. On how important do you think 7-on-7 is to you, from your point of view?
I think it's more for the offense side of the ball.
Right, and that's how you want to keep it into that system where they know that at some point I want to be the star at Eastside. I want to be the star at
Your head coach does it for you. I feel you're just spending extra money for a recruit.
Hey, can I piggyback off that real quick?
Yeah, definitely.
What up? What up? We back, Coach's Corner, every 2 weeks, Sunday at 9 o'clock. We live. As you can see, I got some of the best with me as always. Big shout out to the engineer. You already know, Sand Sports. They making it look good, man. They taking the brand up something major. So make sure y'all tapping in, you know what I'm saying? So follow, like, subscribe, everything on his YouTube page. Same thing as mine. Can't forget the homie over there. D coordinator of the year, look like he's trying to go back to back out this piece. You know what I'm saying? My boy, Coach Sheed in the house, you already know, doing what he do, And of course, who else would I not want to have on the show with me other than my man, big man Dan? You feel me? Getting it done out here. Hey, listen, man, y'all know I'm like Don King. I'm the best at promoting fights, man. I get y'all out there. And so when y'all want to try to get somebody to introduce y'all call me, and I got y'all covered.
Get you on speed dial, Coach.
You already know. So what's up, fellas, man? How's it been hanging? Football season ramping up. We in week 6 or 7, I think, up here in Western Jersey. My team is okay, mediocre. Okay. I can't speak. Hey, Dan, I can't speak for other teams that wear Spartans on the hat. Those guys are really good. They're like number 2 in the state. They're really, really good.
We all right. We got a lot of work to do. We all right.
No doubt. So B, what we got going on? What's on the segment for tonight? I think I'm talking about a bunch of good stuff too.
Yeah.
So I hope everybody following, man, and tuning in.
A lot of topics. Not a lot of topics. You got quality topics that's going to take a lot of time.
That's cool.
That's what we got.
That's cool.
First, you want to, as Daniel say, pay the bills.
Hey, yeah, pay the bills, baby.
Yeah. Listen, it ain't gonna cost you a little. It ain't gonna cost you a lot. It's gonna cost you something, man. Just put a little something in the collection plate. I'm doing some big things. Like I said, we're trying to get not only my brand, but anybody else's brand on and out there, man. Support. So if anybody is interested, like you see all of the information's right there on being a guest. If you want to kind of sponsor a show, I would appreciate it. The coaches around me appreciate it. Families and everything appreciate it. I tell everybody that any money that's donated or anything that you buy out of the DM, it goes back to the brand and to the kids. So make sure you hit me up on my IG, DM Football 258. You can hit me up on my email account, which is dmfootball258@gmail. And that's it, man. But let's go.
All right.
I think we get into this freshman and varsity, man. There's a lot of people was talking about this freshman and varsity. I put this up on my IG, and a lot of people do a lot of things to make sure that their kid is playing and is ready for the freshman and the varsity level. But it's many different situations. But I'm gonna read the question out. How do you feel, fellas, about ninth graders coming in and going straight to varsity? Anybody can jump on it. I'll jump on it last. You already know.
Man, I think it depends on what size level, school you're at. I've been at places where half our team was starting as freshmen because you've got 22 kids on the team. Like, you can't not play them,
Right.
I got to experience Owasso last year, which is a wonderful school, and they had freshman team. As a matter of fact, I think we had 2 of them. And they pulled a couple guys up, but those guys were physically mature, so they weren't at risk of getting hurt at playing with the big boys. They even pulled one after a few weeks just because they had the spot for it. I mean, he got some reps, so he showed what he could do at freshman ball, and he had the skills to go play on varsity team. So I've seen both situations. I've seen freshmen don't play. I don't play freshmen on varsity, and I've seen where I've had to have them, and now kind of watching in between. So I think the feeling is you get the best 11 kids on the field, and if that's a ninth grader, it's a ninth grader.
Yeah, I'm feeling you on that one. Like we said, there's many different cases, obviously. Why you want to use the guy. Sometimes you use the guy because you got to use the guy. You got no other option, like you said, D. And then you got some guys who come in and they're just different. Go jump on that. I mean, I know you've seen some of those in your time.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about our senior receiver right now, Des Jones. He came in and played as a freshman. And a lot of that had to do with situation. He walked into a perfect situation. Obviously, he's very talented. But he played a freshman game. He dominated the game. All right, it's time to come on up. Yeah. It's time to come on up. Because we didn't have a dynamic receiving core at the time, so it was easy to transition him into, getting playing time. And, now he is what he is, going to Ohio State and that sort of thing. So
right.
It's all timing. As long as it's not something that's being promised, especially, up here in North Jersey where we kind of stuff like that.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, stuff like that. But it happens a lot. DJ from Bergen Catholic, I remember he played as a freshman. So there's a lot of scenarios and cases of that happening here. Again, it's not a lot, but now in today's day and age, it's becoming more of the norm or
an expectation.
Push. Yeah. I think it's all just timing of it. That's the biggest thing for me.
What I always say about our beautiful sport of football is that it's the longest sport. Like, you can't go pro early like other sports. This sport takes time. So, like she said, it's kind of in our state starting to look like the expectation of wanting their child to play varsity early. Now, again, it's many different situations. Your kid could be like that, right? But he has to make sure that he's like that on a team that don't have that. Because there's a lot of different situations. The number one team in our state is Bergen Catholic, right? They got a lot of dudes. I mean, hell, even like right now, Sheed is the number 2 team in our state, right? DePaul. It's a lot of dudes. Just because you're not playing as a freshman don't mean you're not like that. They just probably got something like that in that position.
Yeah.
So, and then it's interesting. And then I really want parents to do more talking to coaches. I really, really do. So this way they can understand what the situation is. Some kids need to play freshmen because you might not be tearing it up like how he said Des did. You got some kids that go in the freshman game. It's like, okay. Like he said, that's enough. Right. Give him a challenge or he's going to get bored with this thing. Right. You got some kids that's like, let him play JV and and that freshman. Let's see how he can handle that. And some guys are just freshmen only because you're just trying to get your feet wet. And I think we've all seen scholarship players come from all 3 types of things. Absolutely. Guys that just played freshman, guys that played freshman JV, guys that got skipped up to the varsity.
Right.
So it's not like, oh, well, if you don't make it to that next level. Like, you'll make it to the next level if you do the other things that goes with playing football. But let me see. I'm gonna let you guys read some of the top comments that I got.
I got a question.
What you
Is
got?
everybody? Oh damn! I didn't mean to take that off the screen. Is everybody in I guess the same state? 'Cause I know every state rules are different. So once the kid play one snap on varsity, they can't come back down. Correct?
No, not in Jersey.
Everybody.
No.
No. So Oklahoma
Oh.
limits it with you have 8 quarters of play, and that includes overtime. So
I
you can
learned that.
play you can play your JV game and play 4 quarters,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get in your varsity game and play 4 quarters. But if you go to overtime, you're out of time. Now it's
Yeah.
a self-police thing. There's not a lot of there's not a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people out there sniffing around to see who's playing their 10
Mhm.
quarters. But
Right.
I think parents more than anything needed a way to keep coaches from playing their stud ninth JV and varsity, just trying to get wins instead of developmental programs.
Right. Yeah, no, in Jersey, we don't have that situation. But the quarter situation, I found that out 3 years ago, D. We had a kid that in West Orange, he played the freshman game that morning. Ironically, it was against Montclair, who he just whooped the ass on. Anyway, so
Yeah, terrible.
we put, hey, I got them. They down now. I got to hit them while they down. So, but no, look. So he played the freshman game all 4 quarters, and then we had the varsity game at 1:00. So obviously, because he was our better freshman, we dressed him, got him going, and we kind of did the varsity bag. So in the 4th quarter, we put him in the game to get a couple of runs, see what he could do. Like you said, it's a lot of self-policing. We didn't understand the rule. I mean, in our mindset, it was like, yo, play kids so that we get reps. Like, that's all it's about. But we had got approached by the opposing coach, like, I know that kid played freshman this morning. We're like, okay, and he was like, yeah, but so he can't play 5 quarters. It was 5 quarters, I think, Dan. He can't play like 5 quarters in a day. We're like,
see, ours is in a week, like in a from Monday morning to Sunday evening. But
I had never heard it before,
never-
D. So I didn't even, it didn't even sound like a rule. Me and my head coach, like all of us, the defensive coordinator, like, I mean, did you even hear of that rule before?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, like it was just so left. But I understood. It's like, oh, you beating me bad. Now you putting in the kid that beat my freshman this morning. Like, well, we're a program. We're trying to step it up. Like, we're trying to stay in the back ashes where you guys are. So whatever. But hey, listen, I got 1 month left, man. 1 month left. We got October right now, then there's November, and I get to officially walk away so I can talk all the jazz I want to talk. Can't wait.
So down here where we at, once you take one snap, I don't give a it's on kickoff, you can't come back down. It's no back and forth.
But that's
Once you
not
take one
productive.
snap-
That's not productive because every
Right,
game is
so-
different.
Yeah, so once you take one snap, you can't come back down.
Oh wow.
That's wild.
So
That's just-
my thing is on that. So even in the private league, I forgot what the name of the league is, but it's a private league out here because one of my kids go to it. And once you get on varsity there, you can't transfer to any school in that league. It's 35 schools in that league. So that they tried to take one of my kids to varsity, but his father found out and he told him no, keep him on JV. To make sure he's ready. You know what I mean? But everybody don't learn everything in youth football. You learn whatever they want you to learn. So everybody techniques is different. What they teach them is different. So yeah, you got the scrimmage games and the jamboree and things like that. So that takes time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's like what a week before the season start.
Yeah.
When you're finding out what is going on. But once you once you take that one snap, if you go kick off and you stand there and you don't get in the game again, you ride that bench the whole rest of the year.
Yeah, that's something that parents hope. We got LT in the house. That's something that parents gotta like really get involved on. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to have my son just sitting just because of that rule. You know what I mean? That would be something that I would really, but that's what I say, parents getting involved. That's something that I would have to really dig into. Hey, LT, Nas, man, if y'all want to jump on this one right here, how do you feel? And we know there's many different situations about 9th graders coming in and going straight to varsity. And I know Nasir Smith, he's a receiver coach at Caldwell College right now. When he played for us at Shabazz, we did that with Nasir. We brought him up, let him play some, what was it, dog safety, I think, Nas. And you know, but he also got to play the freshman in the JV games too. Like we want to get as many reps as possible with them young guys. That's what it was for us. So what you guys got, man? LT, what you thinking?
Man, like the guy said, it's situational. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Depends on your situation, what's happening on your team, what's available. Are you balling? You know, some young guys mature a lot faster. You know what I mean? So for instance, myself, my freshman year, I never played a snap of JV football.
Mm.
I played freshman football. Sophomore year, I was a starter.
Okay.
So it's just all about timing and situation.
Yeah, like she said. Hey, shit, I got your boy on here now. Yeah.
Yeah, he helped me get a lot of he helped me get a lot of interceptions because of his pass rush. So I appreciate that, John.
You already know. But like you said about, you know, fits and like learning and understanding, you know, it's crazy. Like I said, I mean, you got situations where one of my guys is new to Sheet system. He's played varsity before, you know what I mean? Limited, but he played. But again, he had to get adjusted to how they run their thing over there with Sheet. And that if you're not into it, you could get left behind. Like you can miss it.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, regardless of the age, man, sometimes that is a different story, you know what I mean? But you know, as you can see the comments you got right here, Juice Benton, that's Al Rashid Benton, you know, already everybody, a lot of people should know what that is. Went on to West Virginia, played at Shabazz. You know, he's like players play. You know, I get that, you know. Let's see, you got my man Coach Earn right there at the top. Coach Earn, you know, he was sitting up there saying, what did he say? Flip it back. If they ready playing early, you know, it'll help their development and their recruitment, in his opinion. You know,
So,
I could dig that.
You also got to think about the feeder system.
Right.
If you snatching everybody up, then you know what I mean. I look at it as, let's say you got. So I didn't know coming into high school. I didn't know a few years ago. I didn't know how many kids just come in not knowing. I thought everybody played youth football. I thought youth football was a shit. I didn't know like 50% of your team never played a snap before.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, there's no way possible. Yo, you too big. I said, yo, you big as shit. I know they was knocking on your door every day. They was knocking on your door like, yo, get out here, come play. You know what I mean? But it wasn't like that. So you have that. But if you have a team of 50% rookies, you need 6 or 7 people you can plug around them that's going to help them. You can't pit 22 rookies on the field. You need some pieces. Even if it's a middle linebacker,
it depends on where you are, though. Like let me and Nasir, tell me about when you was at Eastside. I'm quite sure you had to play some young guys early. What was that like?
Yeah, no, we definitely had to play some young guys early. It was definitely tough. Because that dynamic down there, I know Eastside was it's like a predominantly like soccer school, so you're not getting those athletes that you would normally get at a West Orange or Malcolm X Shabazz that have been playing football since they were in Pop Warner and things of that sort. We were getting kids that just started playing football because we told them to come out to try out. So it's definitely tough when you're playing young guys. I think the main thing is though, right? If you can coach up those young guys, right? It's a testament to your coaching ability and the guys that, and if they want to do something like try something different. Like a lot of guys just come out to the football field and not knowing what they're capable of. So if you could bring that out of them, then I think that's good.
Yeah, that time is key. You know, you got a young guy, you got to spend some time with him. You can't just treat it like regular. You know what I mean? You got to actually, got your practice time with him, and then you might want to get some other time with him. I could just go to my guy Sheed, man. I could tell you all about what it was like for my kid. You know, it was some Friday night conversations. It was some meeting at lunchtime stuff. Like when you got a young guy and you want to get him up to speed, you got to invest in time. It's about the only way it works. You know, you don't do that, then he's just gonna kind of, it's gonna have to go natural. Yeah,
I think too. Also, we're almost forgetting like it's just a mental development too. So we're talking about if they can play them, but a lot of these kids don't even know what power is. No knock to any youth football coaches, but these kids don't even know what power is. So now you're trying to get them to come. They don't know what spilling is. They don't know what feathering is. So these type of
LT, they don't know how to wrong arm that thing and let that backer eat. You gotta know how to sacrifice, man. In the trenches.
What coverages are you really getting in youth football? Cover 3, man to man. So now when you get to the high school level, now you got cover 4, you got cover 6, you got
cover 6. I want to combo that. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's not just the physical part. My fault. It's not just the physical part. It's the mental development too.
So you also got to take in consideration that some of these kids practice 2-3 days a week. When you get to high school, you at 5, sometimes 6. That's a lot of wear. That's a lot of wear and tear mentally. You know what I mean? Like, and then you're trying to keep up because these kids bigger, they faster than you, and you're trying to be like them. So, I mean, it's a lot.
It's a lot. Time management, right? Now you got to get up at 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, go through a school day. Then you come back. You got meetings. You got film. You got lifting. Then you hit the field, and you got to do that every day. That's a lot of maturity from not only the kid, the parent to commit to that too, especially for our level. It's a lot to transition from a youth All-American big time kid to now starting on varsity because it's a lot.
Now I got my brother right there, Hakeem Hayton. I like his tag as the architect. One of the my guy worked with the Dark Knights, man. He runs the Dark Knights actually. And man, he been working with youth football programs for a long time, and I want to really get
Don't worry about it. I'll be out there Wednesday.
I wanted to get a youth coach out here. But you can give us the perspective from the youth level, like what are they thinking, opposed to like when they get to high school. They thinking they should get to high school, play right now. What's your thoughts on that? Should they play? Should they develop? What you think? And every situation is different. We understand that.
I believe that you can hear me.
Yeah.
I believe that. First of all, it's a lot of variables. Do you think play right or up? If you're good enough to play, then you should play. But there's a situation of: are you physically ready to play? Are you mentally ready to play? Are you ready to deal with the emotional levels and the grind of it in all aspects of the game? Do I think that kids coming in from youth football are ready right away to play? No. That anyone is able to play is an adjustment for everyone. Even if you're transferring from one school to another, it's still a transition that has to be made from a mental standpoint to have you ready for that new team and that new level. We have kids all the time. Like we have kids that's from all over. They play all over. Different skill sets and things like that. I don't think that there are kids that are able. Now, here's the thing. Are they able to play? Yes. Are they able to be a major contributor? Probably not. It's a difference. Can they play? Any kid that comes, especially that comes from my program, you're able to play in high school.
Okay.
I like that. I like that one.
You like hey, see, you heard that plug? Heard that plug right like out of this program. They're ready. Okay. Very hot.
Are they ready? Are they ready? Yes. But to be a major contributor, if you're relying on a 14-year-old to be a major contributor in your scheme in high school, you might not be ready for the big time. You might not be ready for the big time
to make those plays. Yeah, I can
right now. Again,
they're exceptional guys, but those
they
exceptional
are
guys.
Yes. When I'm talking, I'm talking about the mass majority. I'm talking about the mass.
When we talk about like the Jabril Peppers, like these guys don't really walk the planet with us like that. You know what I mean? So those guys are
No,
slim
and even
few.
his freshman year, he was not a major contributor. He was a contributor.
But those
But
guys are already recruited by the top schools. They already been knocking at their door already.
everybody's recruited
Yeah.
by the top
No.
schools,
Oh,
man.
hey, and let them know how.
Yeah,
If you ain't
listen.
out here talking, you losing, baby. You got to work, baby.
Yeah.
Got to
If you can
work.
pay, you can play.
Oh, listen, I ain't
But
got nothing to do with that. Hey,
listen,
Sheed, I'm minding my mouth. I ain't getting close.
Ain't nothing
what,
either.
what seed is that? I'm sorry, I'm trying to get this right on my phone, and what seed? What seed is that?
Sheed at the Paul, baby.
Oh, that's the seed at the Paul. Oh, good, man.
Don't
Yeah,
worry,
you
bro.
know.
You'll see me on Wednesday. Don't worry about it. I already talked to Bobby. We good.
There it is. Look, there it is. See?
I was looking for you on Sunday. I saw Roger.
Yeah. Roger's there.
Yeah, that's all good, man.
See,
Yo,
hey,
oh,
nah,
no. Hey, tell you got to reschedule Wednesday. We'll talk about that offline, but you got to reschedule
Already.
Wednesday.
hey,
Okay.
hard body. See how they play? They play dirty. That's why I got.
bruh?
That's why I
Hey,
got
No,
to
it's not
retire.
dirty.
Look,
That's why I got to
30.
retire.
I'm just a spectator now. I'm just listening.
It's
Hey,
not.
LT,
It's not.
this why I got to retire. Hey, Dan, like y'all said, they're recruiting them early, baby. If I
I
ain't
don't
in
know
the
what's
game,
going on. I'm talking about 13U, man. I don't know what nobody talking about right now.
no doubt,
Hey,
no
see,
doubt.
hey, Seed, I'm already sending you one of the top quarterback prospects over there.
Yes,
I mean,
sir. Look,
Allegedly.
listen.
Allegedly. I don't know any of this. We don't know any of this. We are
Hey,
live
listen.
on the Coach's Corner. We're
I
gonna
don't
get
Nah,
to the
I
next.
can tell you.
Hey,
I can tell
Sheed,
you. I
we're
can
gonna
tell
get
you
to
a
the
fact.
next
Seed.
topic. We'll get to
I
our
can tell you.
next topic,
I can
boys.
tell you a fact, Seed. Don't believe he ain't from Bergen. He from
Oh
me.
my God, what is going on?
I don't
He from me. Okay.
cut his mic off. Hey Brandon,
But anyway,
let's talk about Kyle Manunga. Let's talk about Kyle Manunga.
Hey, Don, I'm on no NJSIA paperwork, so I can talk. You can't.
All right,
Y'all can't.
So then watch your mouth, because we all on the show. But check it out. I got this post right here from Kyle Manunga, and Kyle Manunga's story is amazing to me, man. He's one of the top backs in the Big Ten everybody's seeing right now. But if you was around to see them, I know she's seen him, and I've seen him up close and personal. I'm talking about in high school. Kyle Manunga been Kyle Manunga. If you understand, like, I guess skill. If you have an eye for skill, he's been that guy. Also, he's not the only Manunga to have played running back and been successful at it. I believe the uncle or the brother or whatever it is that was at Seton Hall Prep before. So I got a really good history in understanding who Kyle Manunga is. The interesting thing is about this, what he said, right? I'm gonna read it out. There was no lack of coaches coming through Don Bosco. So they all saw me, but nobody took a chance on me. Coach Yano gave me the opportunity to play big-time college football. Here is my home. I love playing in New Jersey. I love playing for our fans and our teammates. Right? Now, let me tell y'all something. In all of the schools, because I don't want Don Bosco to get the hit on this. Because I'm not here to talk about Don Bosco. In all schools, there are college coaches that come through. Okay? I coach at West Orange. It's schools that come through. She coaches at DePaul. It's guys that come through. Nasir, when you was at Eastside, I know you had guys that came through before you went up to Caldwell. LT, I don't know what it's looking like in Columbia, but I know these guys, they visit. You know, Dan, you could tell me where you at. You know, colleges come through, right? And so I understand that. But the one thing that, you know, he's saying about, you know, nobody took a chance on him, a lot of that comes from who's speaking for you. And you gotta have people that can speak for you. That's the one. The second thing is what I've always suggested to parents is you have to get involved. I don't know Kyle's situation as far as what camps and everything that he went to and who spoke to who, but reaching out and going to college camps, those are ways how you could, what they call, plant seeds. So when you start to hit it out the park, when you start to become the guy who this guy transformed into being. Schools ain't just going to your high school saying, "Oh, who is that?"
Mhm.
They're like, "Hey, that's the kid that I said in my camp. He was at the camp 3 years ago. Man, he's growing really good." So, and the parents were like, "Hey, I heard you was at the school. Did you get the chance to see my kid? Whatever, whatever." It's very transitional. But again, that's just my thoughts. I've heard of situations of high school coaches not speaking for kids. Hey, I can't tell anybody about how that works because nobody will know how that's done. It happened, and if you're not in the loop, you won't know. All I can say is, parents, make sure you do your due diligence. I know some of my parents, to tell you, when the colleges came by, they were at the practice in the morning with the colleges. It's called sacrifices, so introducing yourself, talking for your kid, talking to the coaches and being honest about, hey, what's going on with this recruiting? These things are key. I think that's how you don't get missed out, overlooked, if that's a phrase they want to use, or not getting a chance taken on you. Anybody want to jump on this topic? What y'all think about it?
Yeah, I guess I'll go. This goes to show that coaches can't make schools offer you, because Monangai was really like that.
Yes.
He was the best back on that team. I'll tell Don that when he was playing. He was the best running back on that team.
I played against him 4 years. He was like that. And he's at one of the prominent schools in the nation as far as name.
Yes.
So for him to go through that situation just goes to show you that coaches can't make schools offer you.
They can't.
They can't. Because he had everything. He had the stats. He had the film. He's at the prestigious high school. And, his situation ended up how it was supposed to. But he didn't get all of the offers. And he was with another running back that got a lot of attention.
Yeah.
So that, it's like we always say, every situation is different. But that just goes to show that, yes, we can put you in the opportunity to be in front of the college coaches. But we can't make them offer you.
You can't. And when it comes to colleges offering, as a timing thing, I think we spoke about timing with freshmen last year. It's a timing thing.
Absolutely.
Maybe what we're looking for isn't what you are. Maybe what we're looking for is something similar to what you might think. You know what? I'm not going to jump on it. Nasir, with your first year at Caldwell College, okay, we got a college coach on. When it comes to the recruiting, there's a lot of different factors that comes into you checking the kid out, right?
Aesthetics, number one.
Definitely. Obviously it's my first year, so I'm like new to what you actually want to look for in a prospect. But just the difference, like you're looking for what separates them from others. You get what I'm saying? Like obviously you look for, is the person a good person, character, grades and things of that sort. So it's definitely a different dynamic when you are trying to recruit guys to be an asset to your football team.
Right. And so that's what I know. I know that it's a lot of different factors, a lot of different things that take place. Like she said, Kyle Monangai was like that. Okay. He was at Don Bosco, like he says here, and they were like, they're a prestigious name in our state. A lot of people say Don Bosco, they hear Don Bosco, it's like, oh, yeah. But again, we're talking about college coaches was coming from all over because his counterpart was a very highly recruited kid. And so for all of those guys to come through and see this kid and not see, I guess, what Greg Schiano's seen, hey, man, it is what it is. It's called luck of the draw. You know what I mean?
Kareem Walker, Nasir Hooker.
But that's a situation that's a little different. That's a little different.
That's a little
because
different.
Mr. Hooker.
That was a hell of a tandem.
That was a serious tandem.
Hell of a tandem.
Mr. Hooker had to take care of something academically that would put him in a different situation.
Right.
Than it was with Mr. Wilson. Now,
You're right, Don.
That goes back to what I said before.
What you were saying before.
Parents getting involved, understanding the recruiting process, or I can actually speak for two parents that live right here, LT's mom and Nas' mom. They were two parents that said, "Hey Don, show me the way. Let's walk.
But you
Let's
don't.
take
But
the
you
walk."
don't. But you don't. But Don. In all fairness, you trust who you trust. Some people have bad tour guides, so you trust who you trust. I mean, you get the information as it is. A lot of parents are not educated on certain things that happen in this realm, so they ask questions. They do their due diligence, okay, and they trust their kids with certain people or situations, and those situations sometimes fail them. And that's what happens more so than not. That it's not just, I don't think that, I mean, it is a few that don't want to do the work. But I think that the people who say, okay, well, they've been riding with these people from, 6U, 8U, 9U, 10U, midget, whatever they call it now in those other leagues and stuff like that.
That's it.
And they've been riding with these people. And then things don't turn out as those people were promising them or telling them, or it may work out for another individual and not them. And these people are not being upfront and real and honest with them. Okay. And they're giving any kind of information that may not be the right information for that particular individual. That's key, because everything is not the same for every individual. Every person is individual. Everything is different. It's different situations, it's different avenues, it's different things that take. And these people, these tour guides, are not educated themselves. They're going by what they hear from somebody else.
Hey, hot, and that's why we're going to be having people subscribe to the Chamberlain Football Consultant or the Driven Minds LLC consultant firm. We are here. Hey, Dan, let them know we are here to help. Okay.
Parents, kids,
might
coaches,
cost you a little, might cost you a lot. It's gonna cost you something. All right. Tap in, baby. Hey, Dan, speak on
Don,
it.
I got something for you. We can talk about it tomorrow morning. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and we'll talk about it more.
Hey, see, that smells like evil has come on my doorstep.
I don't want no parts of nothing, man.
Hey, what my man say? All I need is the stage.
Hey, LT, tell me about your recruiting process when you was at Shabazz, right? Like, did you feel like guys missed out, overlooked? I know me and you and RU had a thing.
he ain't been to my park yet, so he don't really have a recruiting process right now.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Go ahead, LT. Answer the question. I'm just joking around.
I mean, well, about my recruiting process, it wasn't really a process until my big bro came around, Donald Massey, and really kind of put his stamp on me and kind of helped me out in his younger origin days. Get exposed, taking me to camps. Just what you was talking about just a few minutes ago. If you're not getting connected, if you're not being seen, especially back then when you had to send out VHSs and stuff like that, or CDs, DVDs to get around, you wasn't gonna really be seen unless you was a nationally, ranked person. You know what I mean? So, and as far as RU goes, I was kind of pissed off with them because I got no offer from RU. And I'm a top 20 athlete in the state of New Jersey, according to Friday. And
that's what they said. Hey, LT, that's what they said, LT. We ain't say that.
What they said. How did you get there? How did you get there? It wasn't from film stats and none of that stuff. It was from the exposure that you was given.
That's
to, and here's the irony of that about your situation, because I lived through it too. That was so amazing. you never even played for me at Don.
No.
So it was no there was no gain or finance. There was no ego, no game, no social media, none of that stuff for especially Don and me to invest in you as a child. Now people don't do that nowadays. It's like, okay, if you ain't playing for me, all right, well, I ain't fucking with you. All right, well, whatever. And that happens a lot. It's everything that's
Hello.
trickled down from NFL to
You
college
can
to
hear me?
high school. It's even
I
trickled
can't
down
hear you
to
guys. I got interrupted with a phone call.
Yeah,
But
it's
you
trickled
guys
down to even the
definitely
youth
helped me
level.
get on that path, and like what Don was saying about the exposure is everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Getting out there to different camps, different combines is what we call them. Just getting out there in the eyes view. So that's extremely important. And then now in today's time, oh my God, the connections that you can make now just off of Twitter and what's the film we use to watch film now?
Huddle.
Say it again.
Huddle.
Yeah, Huddle. I'm reading your lips. I can't even hear you, but yeah, Huddle for sure. It's so
Dark Knight
much
use Huddle.
easier to get exposed now, and there's people that's not taking advantage of it. It's crazy to me.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
Dan, get
But
on
you know
that
what?
real quick.
But
I'm gonna get off and come back on,
before
guys.
Dan
Hold
get on
on,
it.
hold on, Hop. Take it over my show.
I'm gonna get off and come back on.
Oh man, I mean, all right.
You're refereeing,
Hold on,
baby.
Dan. You
Before
got
you
the
see
floor.
Huddle, you gotta see progress. You gotta see that thing that say progress report.
All
The
right.
fuck I gotta look at what I gotta look at your Huddle for if your age is higher than your GPA?
Here you go.
Can you show me that?
Here you go. Welcome, ladies
It
and
starts
gentlemen,
there.
to
It
the
starts
architect.
there.
Welcome, y'all, to the architect.
All
Live.
right, I'm quiet. Go ahead, Dame. Dame is
Oh,
on
man.
that raspberry.
Recruiting for us is way different down here. So we're talking about one kid that was at a school with another kid getting eyes. That I don't even know what that's like, honestly. I was looking up population density for our two states. You're in Jersey. You're at 1,263 people per square mile. I'm at 54 people per square mile.
Wow.
I mean, it's for a recruiter to come see all of our schools and get any idea of what those players look like to watch practice. He can't make 3 practices a day. Like, it would be insane.
Right.
Making game nights. University of Oklahoma's defensive end coach came to one of our games the other night to watch an opponent. Got to meet him and shake his hand. Super nice guy. But he had to go get in an airplane and fly across the state to go see another recruit and hope to God he made it through halftime. So it's a little harder. And so if you're not a school that's had a lot of recruits in the past, you're probably not going to have any right now either. You would just have to have a kid that's showing up. It is a lot easier, I think, with social media. LT was talking about that. But there's also a lot more stuff to wade through now, right? Coach has only got so much time, and now he has unlimited film to watch, where he used to have only the key players film, and everybody was vying for the same people. Now it's a weird world. I know as my first year in coaching, we had some kids that probably didn't really need to go to college to play ball, but they were interested, and I got shut down pretty quick on just trying to talk to JUCOs and the local area D2, D3 schools. Coach was like, "Well, we're not going to put our name on it. I don't want to sour my name on that kid." I'm like, "Well," and it really kind of, I was confused and I didn't like it. It's like something I probably won't carry forward my coaching career. But look, I'll be honest with Coach. I'm going to put my name on him because he's played for me for 4 years, right? I watch what he can do skills wise. Here's what he's doing in the classroom. We talk about all the pieces. You got to have socially, academically. You got to be able to have the physical traits, the character. Hey, he's a 3 out of 5 on most of those scales. I would give him a shot. It's not like you're losing a lot.
Right.
So I was very surprised when my first head coach told me, "Oh no, we're not going to put our name on him because what if he doesn't work out? What if he quits after a year? What if?"
Right. Man, whatever.
What if Adrian Peterson would have quit after the first year? I don't know. What if, right? Stuff happens. So the recruiting world is very weird to me. And so, I mean, this kid's, I've not seen that situation where it was a kid that had skills that didn't get a look. that had was at a prominent school. But there's a ton of kids in Oklahoma that go overlooked just because it's so vast. You got to go so far,
right?
And a lot of small schools, right? I've been in a lot of 1A, 2A, 3A schools where, I mean, guys, we don't have those kids. We just don't have them, and so recruiters aren't coming. So when you finally do get the kid, he's got to go play for a bigger school. His parents got to move him to get that done. So recruiting's a little different down here than where you guys are making it happen.
Okay.
That's a hell of a that's a hell of a perspective right there. It's a great reminder that everywhere you go, it's a little bit different. And when we're talking about masses, put things in general sense, you really can't put things in a general sense right now because everywhere is different, right? Like Coach was saying, like in Oklahoma, he's trying to make 2 games and he has to fly to the other game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Versus here in Jersey, we could get on the turnpike real quick. You can make it to the next town or city with the next 20, 30 minutes of driving.
Depending on who playing on what night. Like we played PCTI and PCTI. I think y'all had a game at home that same night. So if you wanted to see Terrell Wilfong for a half and then went and seen Dez for a half, you can do that in Jersey. It was stuff like that is capable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to fly around, but then again, she'd also got James Franklin coming through in the chopper. So you know how that kind of works over there with them guys. So it's one of them things. See, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, baby.
Man. You mentioned earlier about coaches not having, not talking enough for those kids enough and stuff, and their parents getting involved. That's a lacking skill in my area of the United States is coaches don't know how recruiting works.
Jersey too.
I honestly don't. Luckily, J.R. Sandlin was the I don't even remember, but he was at OU for a couple of years, and he posted a big social media thing about like, here's the order to put your clips in, right? That was more help to me than any coach has ever been, because then I at least can show kids like, here's this very objective thing to do: make film, cut up, put it in this order. This is what coaches are looking for. I think he's on as like the general manager or something at SMU now. J.R. Sandlin is, but just little stuff like that. We just don't know, man. A kid comes
gives a lot of
how do I
tips
rate? I don't know. Look, are you 6'3"? No, then you're not going D1. That's all I know. And then everything else.
And look, but that's the part, and I want to jump into this one here: character over stats, because that's kind of what it is. I had a young man that was a little disgruntled, right, at the game because he said he didn't get his stats, and this is a stat game. And I let the young man understand that at the end of the day, stats aren't going to get you recruited. Character, like you said, size. It's many other things, especially nowadays. From when I first started this thing with LT and taking LT around to different camps and stuff to where we are now, like the potential is everything. Like you said, D, he's 6'3". Okay, let's go. Give me the film. Let's talk right now. I want to hear everything about him. He 5'9". Well, coach, I mean,
he better be fast, right?
He's a 4'3" guy, right? Coach is like, oh man, I was going to talk about
crazy.
Hey, I want to shout out one of our athletes real quick. We got a running back on our team he has no offers right now. He's a senior. He's got like 17, 18 touchdowns in 6 games right now. He's putting it up. He got 7 last week, so it's pretty good.
7 in a game?
7 in a game, yes, sir. 5 rushing and 2 receiving. This week we had kind of, we had an easier team, a team that you called it a stat team. He was just ready for everybody else to get the ball. In fact, our offensive tackle got a rushing touchdown because he took his place in our heavy package, right? Like that's the kid. That's that character of the stat. He could have had 500 yards rushing this week. He ended up with $150 and 2 touchdowns, and he threw one even to our fullback. So,
give me some names. You never know who's listening.
Hey, Darian Dansby at Bristow High School.
Connecticut.
He is an absolute dude.
Yeah, that's CT.
He is a power back if I've ever seen one. It's stud.
Okay.
Coaches, y'all are looking for a running back. He is unoffered and wants to go. And we got a few other kids around there too. That lineman that got the touchdown. He can. We got a few guys. Come to Bristol, America.
How big is he?
Yeah, I don't think we have anybody 6'5", so I had to go look at his height and weight. I'm sorry, I don't know off the top of my head, but
Yeah, definitely get
his huddle.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Hey, listen, that's what we all here for. Help each other, man. Hey, put it out there. You never know who's listening. That's the thing about recruiting and networking and stuff like that. You never know who's listening. You never know who's watching. You never know who's looking for what. So just a simple thing. It might, the little stat line and things that you just put out there may inspire somebody to say, "Oh, let me take a look at that."
Yeah.
You know,
He's
So-
he's 5'11", 190 is what Darian is right now.
okay.
Okay.
Stacked.
So I got a question because I don't think we can all. So what division are y'all in?
I'm a 3A, and that's a little bit different than every other school because we have a Class B, and then we've split some stuff. So, I think we're equivalent to everyone else's 4A because we have a Class B 8-man, if I'm not mistaken. I think we're equivalent to everyone else's 4A.
Okay.
But mid-size.
So B, in Jersey, we got 2 non-public groups, and we got 5 groups according to size, right? And everything is according to size of enrollment of kids. Group 1 is the smaller group. Group 5 clearly, obviously, is the bigger group. Now, I'll speak for she. She is non-public B. That's the school size, but they play non-public A, like big schools. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Group 5 school at West Orange. LT is a Group 5 school with Columbia High School. So we have a lot of kids. I think West Orange was up to our enrollment somewhere between 2,000-3,000 or 2,000 to 4,000 students enrolled. So we got a lot of stuff going on. Like I said, Hardbody is at Caldwell right now. Prior to him being at Caldwell, he was at Eastside, and that's Group 5 ball. So honestly, I wanted to break it down. Group 5 ball is the next step. I hate to use the word under, but to non-public. You know what I mean?
So,
because of the amount of athletes that's on the field. Like, because there's so many guys, it's a lot of athletes. But there are some hidden gems that are Group 1s, like your Shabazz and your Weekways, who get to recruit the whole city of Newark, which is the biggest city in Jersey. And because their enrollment is low, but they got kids that go to schools that don't have football programs, they get to play for them. So you can have. I remember one time, I believe, Weekway and Shabazz might have had about 2 to 5 or 2 to 3 Division I kids on the team, like, and they're Group 1 team, just annihilating shit, bro. Like, because the teams that they playing is like New Providence, that's a small suburban school. Denellen, the small suburban school, and then here comes Shabazz and Weekway, and they rolling them.
So I asked that because I sit here listening, and I don't think our conversations are the same. So I coach at a 1A, so we get what we get coming in the door.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're nobody's first choice.
Mm-hmm.
Now this year we are getting a brand new field, so all these kids in the city talking about transferring over, so it might be a little bit different. But kids lie every fucking day.
But everything is different. Like LT and me, we're in the same group, but LT will probably tell you a lot of kids don't run to his school like they'll run to my school.
Right. So with the freshmen playing varsity at our school, we gonna have at least 2 or 3 every year that has to go up.
Right.
Now, were you ready or not? We don't fucking know. Like, one kid was a mean running back, but right now he can't remember what he's supposed to be doing because it's too much. So we just got him at safety. You know what I mean? We just got him at wide receiver. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we got that. Even with the recruiting process, like y'all was explaining the recruiting process.
Mm-hmm.
We make a phone call, maybe 1 or 2 games where it has people sitting in the stands. It ain't no high name people, no nothing like that, no high schools. But we do have some people that come through once or twice a year to watch the kids and things like that. You know what I mean? But I was just listening to y'all, and I realized that how y'all operate and how we operate, it ain't really the same.
It's a little different.
Yeah, we ain't on the same level. So I'm just sit back and
But I'm gonna tell you, B. I'm gonna tell you this, and I think Dan, I'm like knocking on your door with that consulting thing. It's a lot of people, like Hakeem said, that are here but don't have a clue, and I'm talking about high school coaches and parents. Like it's just like that. Like I can't speak for every high school coach in the state of New Jersey and say that they are promoting, they're putting their kids out, they're doing it a certain way. Some guys, they do their job and they go home. I can't be mad at that. That's what they get paid for. Okay? So it's no knock to that. But it's certain people that don't have those coaches like she, you know what I'm saying, like LT, that take time in the off season to spend some time with you, work with you, get you going, help you improve as a skill and mentally getting you ready for the next level. Go ahead, LT.
Yeah, but even with that being said, if you know someone that can help and direct that kid, right? Why not do that? Because then at that point, if you aren't offering any type of service, you're doing the this.
Everybody not like everybody not like that.
I was about to say LT word.
Yeah, everybody ain't friendly. Last year
Right.
we had a coach school that sat outside.
Everybody on their Janet Jackson, man. What have you done for me lately?
We had a coach last year that sat outside this school every other day for a month and recruited these kids to leave this school, and then you get up there and then fold the team. And it's just like it's never mind.
Don't incriminate yourself. She, what you got? She.
Yeah, I'm gonna put some onus on collegiate coaches as well. I know when I was coaching at the collegiate level, I used to pride myself on finding the hidden gems. Like I knew my school was gonna get, some of the top guys, but I prided myself on finding the hidden gems. I remember my first year coaching at the collegiate level, I took this kid. He was a 6'4", 180-pound defensive end, and he became an All-American receiver. So I took pride in finding that, and I was a receivers coach at the time. So that's where the pride comes in. Like, look what I helped develop. And even now at DePaul, we can go scout. I'm going to use the word scout. We can go scout the youth level. I still take that same sentiment. Where, yes, I can go to the Bergen Stars. I can go to Brick City. I can go to Silk City. I can go to the Dark Knights. But I want to go to Pequannock. I want to go to Lincoln Park. I want to go to Jackie Robinson. I want to go find those type of kids, right? Those hidden gems that no one's looking at. And that's the pride that I have. Yeah. And I think some coaches do it at the collegiate level. I'm not, speaking for some, there's a lot of lazy recruiting because we have social media, because we have Twitter, because we have Instagram. It's a lot of lazy recruiting as well. So it's just a combination of everything that we're talking about as a whole that we have to fix. I think if coaches have more pride in finding those hidden gems, you won't overlook a Kyle Monungai who's at one of the top high schools in the country, and he's putting up numbers. And when colleges come to Jersey, they go to Boston, no matter if it's up or down.
See, can I take it one step further from my perspective?
Absolutely,
you're 100% right. And as me being a youth football coach for 27 years, so that's one of my pet peeves that I see in the public school coaching. Okay, so everyone gets comfortable with, all right, it's all right, they're going to come home. The kids are going to come to me. Yeah, they're going to come to me. There's not enough coaches from that sector that are going to those places in which you're talking about. And maybe not stepping on somebody else's, like if you're from East Orange, you're not going to go to Rawway and recruit their kids or whatever. But the coaches that are in that town do not give. They don't focus on those feeder systems, those smaller, those Pop Warner teams or those youth football teams in that town, and show face and just get
There you
mad
go.
because they get
The kid
mad
leaves.
because those kids are going to the Boscos, the Pauls. Those are the coaches that they see.
You'll be surprised. Well, you're not surprised, but I've been to a few youth practices where they actually practice on the high school field or the adjacent field, and the coach tells me, "Coach, we haven't even seen our public school head coach. We haven't even seen him."
Exactly.
I ran into that.
Point.
That's
just
crazy. Actually.
it baffles me. It's like,
So
why are you mad at the youth coach? Oh, you can't use our field no more. It's not my fault that you won't open your door and come outside.
Nah, I ran into that 2 weeks ago. I won't name the organization, and I like to keep things, confidential. But they say, "Yo, D, man, I got some kids out here, man. They like that. Come check us out." So, all right, cool. Because I'm big on just being a mentor anyway. So I just want to see who the top kids coming out. So I go check them out. Now, the practice field where they are is directly across the street from the high school. I mean, directly, this house is across the street from that house. So I'm talking to the kids, and we chopped it up for a minute, and because I know those coaches on the other field, I walked across the street, and I said, "Yo, y'all been over there? There's some dogs over there, man."
I think I know what you're talking about.
I said, the response I got, she was, "Yeah, we went over there, but it's like,
And then
I'm
when
like,
they go somewhere else, don't be mad.
right. Now, I'll tell you, because I came from the Little League ranks, I already know the business. You got to show face. So I'm like, yo, even if they are going to pick the DePauls, the Don Bosco, that's fine. I still have to introduce, hey, what's going on? It's Don Massey over here coaching at DM. Want to know if you need some help. You want to try to get with it, work with my team, whatever. Let's do it. I got a game coming up. You want to come to the game? Let's do it. Stuff like that. It go a long way. Because guess what? We're in a real transitional world when it comes to sports now. So a kid is going to start at one school, he's going to graduate from another school. That's just where we are right now. It's happening in college, and it's happening right now in high school and all over. So that's fine. That's fine. But if you don't get to show your face, you won't be one of those, I guess we want to call it nominees or suggestions, thoughts of places to go, when it don't work at another school. But hey, man, we can't get on that. Guys want to work. The workers win. That's all I can tell you. She don't show no rings tonight. We good. The workers win, man. That's all I can tell you. I can't substitute it. I can't shortcut it. I can't show you how I think it'll work if it don't work, because workers work and the winners work. That's all I can say about that. So let's jump on this for a little bit.
And stop looking for the big prize. Like, all right, you can't get that. Some people peak late. So, everybody doesn't peak late early. So it's like, some guys you gotta take a gamble on. And with work ethic, grades, and aesthetics and all of that other kind of stuff. And see what you can do with it. Everybody's looking for it now. I mean, but that's the society now. Is a microwave society. I want it now. I want it now. All right, you get that now. Okay, you got that guy that's 6'4" that may run a 4.3, but he doesn't know anything about anything football. That's great. Like, he doesn't know start stop. He doesn't know anything. Like, he doesn't know how to tackle. He's just all athlete. Oh, I can teach that. Yeah, how long it's gonna take you to teach him? Then you realize once you get him in there, he got a 1.3. So it's like all other kind of things you got to deal with. But like, It's a catch-22. I mean,
Yeah, well,
it's the
listen.
right way.
That's why I said the workers win. You know, there's really no other way of putting it, Hot. You know, some guys are old school, and Nas, we're gonna get into that topic that we talked about last night, and I think that's why what you're dealing with, Hot, happens. Some guys are old school and they're used to, they're gonna come play for me. Whoever's in my park in my town, they're gonna play for me. I don't have to go hunt them down, you know. But young
Wait,
coaches move different, right? And then, like I said, we're gonna talk about that young coaching thing. How important is it to hire young coaches? You feel me? Like that's a
very.
big thing right now. I remember when I was the young coach, like she said, I took pride in being the young coach. Like I said, when I got to this place, Dan, I couldn't talk for like the first, I don't know, like month or two. You know, it was go get
Yeah.
the coffee. You know what I'm saying? So, but because I wanted to prove to the guys that I was with that I do know something, I took pride in it. I went, figured some things out, learned the scheme, I don't even know if they go to Barnes and Noble anymore, but I'm in Barnes and Noble reading the books on how to defeat the spread and the wing tee and the veer. Like I'm just all in, right? And so
Index cards.
oh man, you already know how I handle those index cards, man. I treat them like spades, baby. They can't nobody top me when it comes to them. But it's one of them things where I also knew that as the young coach coming in, my time was scout time. So I had the scout offense or the scout defense. So my job, and I took pride in, like I said, I wanted to make sure that the scout team was better than the varsity. So we kicking their ass. I'm coaching the scout games, scout practice like as if it's the Friday night game. But I mean, that's just how I did it. And I know that the energy that I brought to the program helped those older coaches out because they just don't have that energy. You know what I mean?
Well, look, I think you also, when you start talking about why you need to hire a young coach, you can look at a couple things. Number one, the evolution of football. If every wing T coach just hired another wing T coach, or every wishbone coach hired another wishbone coach, or his same age group, they would just run the same shit forever. And I'm not saying it's bad. I think some offenses get antiquated. You don't see a lot of wishbone anymore, but there's new ways to do things that are confusing more people. Not so much option, but if all you ever do is just hire your age group, you're going to get an echo chamber very, very quickly, right? Mm-hmm. So you need these younger guys because they're going to be interested in more stuff.
Yeah.
Right. If you hire a kid today, he wants to know what's going on in Kansas City, right? Is Patrick Mahomes like the truth, or is that system really good? And he's going to go dig into it, right? He's going to figure that out. Mm-hmm. He's going to, look at some of these prominent high schools y'all have even talked about tonight. Like, what are they doing to go win all these championships? They're going to go look at, hey, let's not act like the Flexbone's dead, right? Harding just won a national championship with it. Mm-hmm. They're averaging, 35, 45 points a game or whatever with distinct Flexbone. So they're going to go out and look at those things that maybe you aren't interested in. And I think that's one reason. I mean, just alone is just to get another voice in your locker room that's interested in something else. You look at defenses too, right? I mean,
oh man, yeah. God.
How many people would still be running the 4-3 because Miami ran it back in the 90s? Everybody would still be running if we just didn't have new brains out there thinking up new stuff and bringing new talent in and getting interested. And not only that, but if you aren't online right now getting better at football, you're probably going to be stuck somewhere anyways, right? Like you've got to go out there and get better yourself. And then I think also just for fulfillment of your own self, right? You need to bring someone along. You need to take someone under your wing and teach them.
That's
right?
the point.
Yeah, that's a huge part of why I do the consulting side is because like I'm working with a youth coach that's luckily a military brethren of mine, but he's learning like buck sweep, power counter. Coach Sheed, you said it earlier, like kids don't know what power is. His youth program does, right? He's got 5th and 6th graders. They can tell you what buck sweep is, what RPOs are, right? Because he's doing it the right way. And he gets to talk to me and we just look at weird ways to do the same old stuff. And I think that's made me feel better as a coach than any of my coaching years.
Yeah.
Just
that's
ball
me.
with a younger or another guy.
That was me. When I started the DM 7-on-7, right? Obviously I wanted to get young coaches. So I got Nasir, I got Coach Ali Bey, man. I had Coach Sheed. Not you, she had another Sheed. No, don't. As many of y'all out here in the world. You know what I'm saying?
I guess.
But Coach LT, a lot of guys who, two things. One, could speak for who I was as a mentor and a coach and a trainer, right? So this way they can talk to the kids and the kids can understand. They can talk to the parents and the parents can understand. And I can be proud of these are guys that, man, they learned the game and they flourishing. Now they'll tell you every now and then, I want the joysticks. Like y'all ain't coaching right. Let me get the joysticks. Let me show you how to do that thing, man. They like, nah, old head, get out of here. So but it's a beautiful thing though to see them out there and they getting it going. But when I can say the energy, you know what I'm saying, that they bring to the table, like Coach LT when he's doing defensive line, I know his defensive line drills be intense. I be the laid back defensive line coach. Sheet. I ain't gonna lie to you. Once I teach it, I should like, you ain't got it. Hey, next up, let's go. You know what I mean? Not LT. He get it. Let's go. Get into it. Charlie. He be in it. Like it's a different energy that's unmatched, but that these kids need to understand.
You need that because it's listen, man. For the most part, like a lot of us we're in 40s or whatever. Like, listen, there's a lot of days where we don't have that energy sometimes where like you got to build it up, and it's a lot of times. I mean, at least for me, I know like having that young energy and we're in a different time, so it's different. The younger generation people can relate more to a lot of these kids than we can, and translate and saying the same thing that we're saying and doing the same thing we're trying to get accomplished because we're in a different type of mindset generation, and they can relate a little bit better to them, which is important when it comes to coaching, when it comes to mentoring and all that stuff. It's building a relationship. Like for me, I don't care about X's and O's or whatever. I do, but I don't. How can you make that person, now I gotta be pronoun correct. How can you make that person a better person, adult, as they get older? And building relationships is it. So yes, getting that younger person in there, it helps a lot because sometimes you can learn. Like you can't be stubborn to the fact that you can't learn anything from a younger person.
Right.
So that's the thing. Like you have to turn your ego off for a minute. You have to turn it off. All right. What is this person trying to say? Like, and help you, help me type of philosophy. And I think that's really vital. I love when young coaches come out because I love to mentor. Like me, I'm at a point now where I don't just coach the kids. I don't just mentor the kids. I coach the coaches too. So, I've been doing it for a while. I'm doing everybody a disservice if I'm not helping.
Right.
So
but now let's ask Nasir. Nasir, what you think is the good, the bad, and the ugly being a young coach?
Hearing your mouth.
I'm the voice of reason around here, baby. You don't hear me, it ain't gonna work.
Tell him not saying he's not gonna up down you. It's okay.
I think to start, the good thing is I think Hawk and Chi, you kind of touched on it too. I think it's the relationships that you build as a young coach with the with your kids or with your position group, whatever you how you want to put it. I think the game is always revolving, it's changing every second, every minute of the day. I think the most important part is once you realize that the power that you have as a young coach to be able to connect with those guys, like not even just on the X's and O's level, but on the hey, I was in your shoes not too long ago. You get what I'm saying? So I think once they've realized that, like, hey, like damn, like he knows what he's talking about, because we experienced the same type of experiences in our lives together, but also the fact that, hey, like he had a solution to one of my problems that I'm going through right now. So I think that is a good part about being like a young coach and coaching those young guys up, not just X's and O's, but as far as like teaching them the way of life, putting them on the right path, allowing them to make mistakes, but also giving them solutions to how to go about fixing it.
Resources, man, giving them resources, right?
Yep.
Everything in your brain, everybody can't pull that crap out. You gotta find a way. I think that's another benefit to hiring young guys, is you have to put what you know on paper.
Yeah,
you gotta solidify what you know and justify it. And if you're teaching a young coach,
honestly, when you catch you a nice young coach, especially fresh out of college, just him teaching you about how to plan practices. You know, some guys want to practice 4 or 5 hours and stuff. Like, young coach and Sheed, I think you on that wavelength already, right? Like, yo, we're getting this thing done in 2 hours max. Okay.
Hey, listen, and I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
The me being now at Caldwell University first year, my head coach Louis Matsakis, he during my interview process, he made it known. He said, "Hey, I don't practice long." He said, "I'm big on having an efficient practice." So I kid you not, our longest practice ever is approximately 1 hour and 10 minutes max. Every minute of the practice time is everybody's moving, right? In and out of a drill, in and out of segments. Like, everything is scripted to a T. Like, and it's a different dynamic.
I want to see that, Coach Sheed. I want to see what that looks like. I'll share mine with you.
It helps tremendously, man. Definitely does.
Hey, Sheed, without telling us the number 2 secrets, just break down the times that you got right there.
He muted. He talking to himself.
Oh, take the mute off, Sheed.
I got you. So I was kind of lucky to coach at the collegiate level before I came to high school. So this script is every 5 minutes. I don't know if it's gonna be blurry, but
we good.
You know, from the stretch, everything is in 5 increments. So after stretch, you know, sometimes we'll kind of play around with it. We'll go with, you know, our pursuit drill, because I'm on the defensive side of the ball, and then we'll go into our ending. So I tell my coaches, if you can't get what you need to get done in that 15 minutes, you better figure it out, and we'll review it and get it done the next day.
Right.
So, and on the top of it is exactly what we're working on for that particular day.
Okay.
You know, hey, if we're working on this particular coverage, my corners coach, he needs to be working on that in his indie. My linebacker coach needs to be working on that in indie. If we're working against a zone read team and I need my defensive ends to feather in between, then he needs to be working on that in indie. And then obviously inside run, 7-on-7, et cetera, et cetera. But everything is 5 minutes. So what I do is I have the horn. Even though I'm not the head coach, I have the horn. I'm blowing the horn. Sometimes my head coach gets upset, but I'm blowing the horn. We on to the next thing. Even in team, you know, a lot of times like, oh, do it again. Well, I can't do it again in the game. And from a defensive perspective, sometimes I script bad situations because I want to see how they respond. So if there's a mistake on defense, I can fix that in the film. Like, hey, what should you have done here? Oh, my eyes were supposed to be on 2 to 1, boom, boom, boom. I'm not a big believer in do it again, because it defeats the purpose that I can't do it again in the game. I can't say, hold up, ref. Can we do that again? Can we run that same play back? We'll get it next time. No, we got to be able to respond. You know, so some days I script the script to where it's perfect, 100%, where I know they're going to get everything right. But for the most part, I play around with the script, and I'll tell them, hey, I screwed the script up today, so I hope y'all on y'all P's and Q's.
Right.
So everything is in 5-minute increments. And that's something I learned from coaching at the collegiate level before I came to high school.
Right. And that's
I think
what
Wow.
I'm
it's
talking about.
really neat to, like, now that I've been at the bottom, like with a brand new first year head coach, and I was a first year coach as a DC and trying to run his schedule. And then I went and worked with Bill Blankenship at Owasso, who's 6 state titles deep in 30 years. And I just stole everything he does, because why would you not? And then seeing the differences, right? Like a lot of it is a knowledge difference, right? Like,
Yeah.
we talk about hiring young coaches. Go find a good staff to be on, man. Go find it. Figure out what
Yes.
success looks like.
That's
And I
it,
actually was
too.
reading in the comments over here, and it says, I'm at a school with a head coach who's been in for 39 years and still runs 44 wham. I get it. You're not taking his playbook, right? You may not need his playbook. You might need pieces of it. You might need some of the principles. What's his schedule look like? And is he successful?
You know what that does?
Every year's
Yeah.
record doesn't tell you what the coach is, right? But
Right.
over time,
Right.
you're going to get an idea.
Right.
Hey, Sam said a while ago, sometimes you get whatever kids walk through the door, and you've got 15 dudes that put on jerseys, and you go play 11-man
And you
football.
go figure it out.
And you're
Right.
not going to win a lot of games. And that's
Right.
okay. But over time, I feel like if you're good at what you do, you're going to move on and find the school that does allow you to do that. So records are weird, right? Like they matter, but they really don't matter either. So anyway, if the guy's successful with the kids, with the parents, with the admin, with the community, put that stuff in your back pocket, put that in your toolbox.
Because you can learn.
Wham's
You
good
can learn
sometimes.
from
To me,
Every
To
week,
me-
though, you can learn.
to me, I look at it from a different perspective. I look at it from a coaching perspective, and I also look at a parent's perspective. If I come to your school and watch a practice, and I see it structured to a T, that shows me a lot about that program and how you guys are running things from a perspective. Things is like, wow. Even if inside as a coach, it may be one of your worst practices, like where shit's not going good, nothing's right. But seeing the structure and seeing how everything is on schedule, it goes a lot in the perspective of a parent looking at it like, wow, they're doing something that's totally different. Even if for us, it's like, oh no, this is everyday work. But for somebody on the outside looking in, a kid visiting school as a parent, and like, wow, okay, everything is on schedule. They're on time. They're making sure this is done. Wow, they're getting a lot done. And that goes a long way from the perception standpoint that can help your program in the long run. It may not help you that day, but it may help you in the long run. From our end as coaches, nothing's never 100% right. Every day is not a great practice. Okay, we say, oh, that was a terrible practice more time than we say, oh, that was a great practice today. Everything was done right. So
And
it's
I think
seeing
if your
that.
practices are all good, you're missing something. You're not pushing the limits. Screw up,
Right.
right?
Right.
If it's good on one end, something is failing on the other end. Okay, so if your offense is scoring on one play in every practice and all that stuff, then all right, well, your defense ain't doing something. So so it's something that's always going to be bad. But I'm saying from a parent perspective, seeing structure goes a long way, and I think we get away from that structure and building relationships. Those are two things outside of the X's and O's that carries a long way in building a program, not just a good team or whatever on any level. And I think that helps establish trust in parents as well and the kids.
Hey, let's get LT's take on good, bad, ugly. Why you should hire young coaches. I want to get LT's take on that. Then I want to jump into the next segment of this trend, this phenomenon. This conversation with young coaches is going to help us get to that. LT, what's your thoughts on why is it important to hire young coaches?
Well, I mean, the guys pretty much hit everything on the nail, on the hammer on the nail. But I think the one thing that I do want to add in with hiring young coaches is just being able to relate. Basically, what Coach Nas was saying, that when you have those young coaches around, you're able to be relatable and you're able to connect just a little bit differently. Just a little bit differently. And it's important. Coach was saying about you might, I wouldn't call it friction, but a little bit of pushback and some critique. I would say, just to kind of open up the coach's eyes on how it's maybe going now, maybe some new trends in football. The game's changing all the time.
Absolutely.
So those guys keep you on your feet. You know, I think some of the bad about young coaches, some young coaches are immature, right?
Okay.
They may
Yes.
be buddy with a lot of the players, and so it's an age that it can feel like that. You know, you guys are your friends, but in actuality, you're here to teach this young guy. You're here to coach him. You're here to mentor him. So a lot of young coaches can get caught up in not being the best role model at first, right? Because they're still, you know, hanging out or doing whatever they do. So
showing themselves.
it can be a little tricky at times. But overall, I feel like it's a good situation.
Yeah, like I said, man. Like I like how you brought up relatable. That's the thing. I think when I was a young coach, I was able to relate and understand where these guys kind of how they live in, what they're going through, what's life, you know, how to help them understand how to handle their life and where it's at. You know, most young guys, you know, I mean, our young kids feel like, you know, their life is a grown-up life at their age of 15, 16. You got to kind of break that down. But being able to relate, and hey, Brandon, let's get to that video. Being able to relate is this is how you get to find out stuff is trending. You know, like this is, yo, Hawk, I got to touch on it. So this celebration, as I like how you got question marks, B, is a dope thing. This is like what's trending on TikTok, and there it is, TikTok. You know, when they shake hands and because you beat the team, and now you got to watch it. Kids will use either the belt. There's somebody will have a belt. Don't ask me where they find the belts from, but I'm hoping that nobody's sagging anymore. Or they're using that's what happened. Mess around with the right one. Then you got the other situation where they have the towel streamers. You got to watch those because I've seen kids take the towel streamers and try to hit kids with the towel streamers. Young coaches see this stuff before older coaches do. Okay, young coaches are on Instagram, young coaches are on Twitter, young coaches are on TikTok, young coaches are on all of those types of networks where the kids are on. But this right here, this behavior right here, it speaks to everything she like 7 on 7. You know what I'm saying? About this. Dan, what was we talking about? You came up with it early. You know, either you are, what do we say?
Oh,
Dan?
you're either coaching it or allowing it, right? That's
either coaching it or you're allowing it. And this is something that I'm looking at. And on it, look, it's even happened on my team. Okay, I mean, I wish I had the video to show y'all some of my cards, but you know, those guys had to take a couple of Tylenols the next day because we ain't dealing with this. All right. So it's one of those types of things where you want to make sure
not to cut you off, Don, but the kid even did it to the coach. He even beat the coach with I just saw that. That's crazy.
It's like, look.
Wow.
Look, Brandon was like, yo, if that would have been me, you lost your kid. He said you lost your kid, that was me. You know?
I'm going to have to see your pops for that.
Yeah, we got to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. But again, this phenomenon that's happening right now, man, is nasty. Hey, B, we got the video with the coach and the kids not shaking hands. I want to get on that too. You know, not the referee. The referee that was stopped that had something to say. Like, yo, it takes adults to be adults, man. Like, the band don't play for us no more. I forgot I used to say that. Hawk used to tell us that all the time. My man Andre used to always say the band don't play for you no more, man. So all that getting super excited and egging on these types of behaviors, that's not it. Listen to this right here. This is a good video right here.
I think I just found the video of the year. This is how you teach sportsmanship. I'm going to shut up and let you watch this video. I'll come in on the other side.
That's unsportsmanlike, bro. Don't do that. Bro, that's unsportsmanlike. No, hell no. Shake hands, big man, 41. Stick your hand out, man, and shake hands. That's going to be your first unsportsmanlike, all right? I give you the second one, you're going to be ejected from the game. I'm letting you know right now. Take your hand out and shake these men's hands, man. Let's play football, bro. We ain't coming for that, bro.
You going to play this
game. You know
game.
What? Bravo to this referee for putting these kids in check. Because somebody got to teach these kids right from wrong as it relates to football. You know, there is an etiquette in football called sportsmanship.
Right.
Shake the man's hand before the game. Shake the man's hand once the game is over. Like, that's the standard. The standard is the standard. Once you let the standard go awry, all kind of chaos happen. Big shout out to this ref, man.
Right.
You know,
so
we got to teach these kids sportsmanship. This not East Coast versus West Coast. This football.
I like that. If
He
you're old enough,
ain't
you know
Joe
what he
Hines.
meant.
He ain't Joe Hines. The referee Joe Hines to say, okay, well, coach, who's your assistant coach? Well, I'm asking for assistant coach. He's like, yeah, because when you get these two unsportsmanlike and I throw your ass out, I want to know who's going to be the head coach. Who's going next? But that trend there is so heavy and so strong there that it's ridiculous. Flipping into the end zone, all of this stuff.
Here's what it is. Here's what it is.
Listen,
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna give you the floor, Nas. What it is again, like we said, if you're a coach that sets the standard, like the guy said, the standard is the standard, right? So if you set the standard, right, then there's no issues. Like we kind of can figure out how this works. They know to go up there and shake hands. They know it ain't no belt to booty. They know all of the extra stuff don't happen because the standard is the standard. What's happening nowadays, just from what I've been seeing from all over, coaches are trying to get the approval from kids. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to make sure that the kids love on them or they like them a lot so they don't transfer or leave and all this other stuff. I tell people all the time, and I talked to Nasir the other day, I'm one of them coaches where I'll tell you where the exits are. It's one over here, it's one over there. Like, it is what it is. I'm coaching the 11. All I'm looking for is the 11 and maybe 5 more dudes that want to go to war. I ain't got time for no friend stuff. So that's why the standard gets to be the standard. But remember, I said to y'all, this is a real transitional football world we're in now, where guys are scared to lose talent. They don't want to coach. You know what I'm saying? So because stuff like that's happening, these types of trends are popping out. And now, like I said, having young coaches get to see those trends, alert the older coach or whoever, hey, telling you now, man, make sure you watch out for this because there's something that's jumping off. Nah, what you was going to say about it.
But say you took the words out of my mouth, Don. Couldn't say any better. One thing I could say though, right? And that's probably will be the most recent trend, like the BTA and all that stuff like that. But just in general, like the trends with the 7, like we all here probably coach 707 or C707, guys, receivers wearing shades, different type of shades, and playing football, and guys wearing costumes with it just becomes too much. I think nowadays it's all about being or setting a trend or going viral or social media gotta see me or this and that. Like it's no longer about the game. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody, people's first thought is there gonna be a cameraman? You get what I'm saying? Is somebody gonna snap the video or catch me doing this and doing that? So I think it's up to coaches to, like you said, set the standard of what you want your program with your guys to move like. And I think once that standard is set, you can allow 1 or 2 guys to engage in those behaviors because now it's gonna be a domino effect or just like poison on your football team. So I think once you nip certain things in the bud, you will start to see a drastic change in your football team for the better.
And I'm also, because y'all know me, I don't like to leave my parents out. I need parents to come to the front. I need parents to be like, no, I'm not having that because you represent me when you leave this house. When you on that field, yeah, it might say West Orange, DM, DePaul, Columbia, whatever, but at the end of the day, you represent me. Like I need that. I need that mama. I mean, somebody go find me Big Mama. Big Mama ain't had this back in the day. Big Mama said, if I get one call, that's it. I'm tearing you out. So I need to find Big Mama, man, because these types of trends, like you said, Nas, you're right. They looking for the cameraman. Will we have a cameraman at the game, whatever, to catch this and that? I'm all for catching precious moments, all for that. But we got to understand how we conducting ourselves. This era that we're in, it takes one video, one snapshot, whatever, for you to lose a lot of stuff. It's so
hey, Don, such a thin line that we have to walk, right? Because like I think about the MLB all the time. Because what are the unwritten rules in baseball, right? You hit your home run, you hurry your ass around the bases, just like you need to be hustling, right? And then we kind of started pimping it a little bit. You got flip the bat. And people are mad because these unwritten rules, but then the younger generation starts taking over. Now all of a sudden it's okay to celebrate, right? We've broken the unwritten rules so much, it's not there. So that unwritten rule was there to keep the sportsmanship. And that's just an MLB, right? I mean, it's not new. I mean, there's been people doing it for a while, but it's just become more common.
Yeah.
Football, we went over that line long ago, right? Like it's been a while. And we didn't have that unwritten rule. There wasn't any don't celebrate to the end zone in football, right?
Right.
But we also don't want to restrict our kids we don't coach robots. Be emotional. Right. Celebrate that sack, right? Like,
but Dan, we had one Terrell Owens that threw the popcorn in his face, right?
Hey,
like
now some of them go overboard, and what do you do? How do you? That's the line, right? That's the line we all walk. How do I keep from just trying to coach non-emotional robots to all of a sudden we're hitting our opponents on the ass with a belt after the game? Like, that's the slippery slope. And so I understand now. You look at the New York Yankees; they still got to shave their faces before they can put on the pinstripes. I hate the Yankees. I'm a Red Sox fan, but I understand the standard. You know what I mean? I understand the standard because there's not going to be no slippery slope here. We will hold the standard. So I mean, it's a wild world, and it's hard to walk that line every day.
Yeah, no, it's a respect thing at the end of the day. Now it's women's football and things of that nature, but it's just a respect thing. And if I'm running a household and you have to take your shoes off before you walk in my house, that's my rule. That's my standard. That's my culture. And Coach Dan, he's my guy. He says a lot of things that we hear, but it kind of goes with people's head. Culture is created or allowed. It's really, that's it. It's created or allowed. It's one or the other. And all of us here are men of our household. So if you let something get away in your household, what's going to happen? Chaos. And now you want to go to, hit the hammer. It's too late at this point.
Right.
And that's one of the things, one of the examples even I give my guys. You're not going to let somebody walk in your house with their shoes on because the standard is the standard. The culture is created for your household. So the moment you allow it one time, it's going to happen over and over again. And like Coach Dan is saying, now the unwritten rule is done. It's over. You can't do anything about it. Now, one of the rules now is you can celebrate in the end zone as long as you do it with your team. The moment you celebrate by yourself or you dance by yourself, here come the flag. Now you got to. Now we in practice working on team celebrations. This is what's going on now. Because you can't celebrate by yourself. So, hey, we got to come up with a dance together where we doing side by side.
The bad boys joint.
Yeah, bobsled team on a Sunday night not too long ago. I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, and again, I like to put
this is the generation that has.
I put the pressure on the youth coaches. I have to because
they're the beginning.
Stuff that we're seeing on TikTok and seminar is from that. You guys are molding these young minds from an early age. So you're very impressive.
I agree with that.
Very impressive. You're very impressionable. So if you're,
this generation is this. Oh no, we don't. Not in our group, but but this generation is the generation that had the less PTA. If they had more of that, then this wouldn't be going on.
Hey, irony is not
that part.
That's funny.
Yeah, listen, man.
The irony.
So I think if they wanted to,
They need it. They need the PTA.
And they just go on a sideline and swing their belt by themselves. You know what I mean? I think to them is the same meaning. You ain't gotta hit nobody with a fucking belt because
that's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like your whole team, y'all should.
That's crazy. That's a fight.
Y'all go to the end zone. Everybody swinging their belt. Cool, fine and dandy. Go ahead about your business because you know what I mean. But hitting
But hey, B, I'm gonna tell you this.
It's some selective PTA. It's some selective PTAs too.
But hold on, I'm gonna say this, and I think the whole panel will agree to this. The kids that do that type of stuff, they know who they be doing it to. Okay, like
certain schools, you ain't gonna go do that shit.
Certain schools, that's what I'm saying. In certain programs, in certain schools, you know. Look, again, I'm in West Orange, right? West Orange is a suburban town. Okay, so I have some really nice kids. All right, so when I get to see them, how can I say, try to flex, right? I go, nope, don't do that. Don't do that. Mommy and daddy spent a lot of money so you can live in this type of world right here. You don't want to live in that life that you're trying to live. Like, leave that alone. And them people that live that life, leave them alone too. Don't talk on social media to them because certain people, social media is life. So you mess around and get yourself, you belting the booty, they might drive back around like, so what's up? Like, you know what I mean? We gotta think about these teams that we play. These teams that we play, they're not far. I mean, okay, like you might play like which had 1 or 2 out-of-state games, I think, like 2.
Yeah, we had 2.
Yeah, so you might get 2 out-of-state games, right? Whoop-de-whoop. The rest of the games, it's to somebody you know. Like you know that team, they're close by your area. So you thinking that it's over because you went on TikTok and went viral with that. Now it's another step that you're not ready to dance, that your family not ready to dance, that, you know, you don't want to get into that world. So, you know, I'm realizing that in this society that we are in, Brand B, is that people are real selective on who they do things to because they know that they do it to somebody that will, how I say LT, give them the act right, they're going to get that act right. You know what I mean? So that's just what I know right there, man.
It's just a respect thing, you know, and this generation likes to say standing on business, but the business ain't standing on nothing. So walk with me real quick. I know I'm gonna say something crazy, but
hey, hold on. Before you start. Hey, B. I know you preached this morning. I know you had a hell of a sermon. I gotta pass the plate around for Sheed. Yo, he out here spitting some gems, man. Y'all got to put it in the plate. Yeah, y'all got to put it in the plate. Go ahead, Sheed. What you got?
So we talk about being incarcerated. Some of these boys need to go be incarcerated. And what I mean by that is there are certain rules you have to live by, and it all stems from respect. So if I'm sharing the cell with you, you can't go brush your teeth in the toilet because I don't want it's certain rules that you got to have, and it's a respect thing. And if you disrespect someone, it can lead to something else. Yo, man, I don't need you shaving in the sink because you're going to clog up the sink, and now I can't. So it's certain things that's unwritten rules like we're talking about, but it all stems from respect.
Right.
So again, a lot, like I said before, these kids, they keep saying standing on business, but what business are you standing on? Where's the respect?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, respect comes before anything. It comes before your title. It comes before your respect. And your respect stems from your character. So as coaches, as trainers, as mentors, what are we really doing?
Yep.
I thought we were supposed to be in a character building business, which is going to follow by respect and so on and so on. So I'll put a lot of pressure on people in those positions of teacher, trainer, coach, because those are positions where you're not going to get a lot of money for.
Right.
So if you're in it for that reason, or you're in it for your own glory, and you hold those titles, then you shouldn't be in this business. And I'm, for one, is not going to rock with you. That's just, I'm real passionate about that aspect.
About what we doing. Right. Right.
Sam, go ahead and clip that for us so we can all just share that to social media, please.
You know he's gonna have that set up for us. I'm one of the best engineers in the business, man. You know he's gonna have this thing all tagged up. I got to get on my game, man, and start posting a lot more. I heard we got a lot of people that checked in tonight too, man. A lot of views, and I appreciate all y'all good brothers, man, for just giving me that time. I don't want to hold y'all up. I keep telling B, I only want to do an hour. We be getting into 2 hours every time, man.
It's not gonna happen, bro.
It's not gonna happen, bro.
You don't ever have to apologize.
A lot of good things talked about, man.
Yeah, well, you know, it's about getting the information out, man. I think that the people that we have on this panel, man, bring out really, really great ideas, suggestions, and thoughts for people. And if the people could just tap into what we're doing in this network, man, they'll grow. They'll grow and they'll learn and they'll be in the right positions, you feel me? But you already know, like, I love the character, man. Everything is about character. Like I told my young man, character over stats. Like, don't try to worry about getting those stats, man. Worry about keeping a good character. Because when that school come in, they not just talking to the coaches, man. They talking to everybody in the building, man. They talking to the janitor. They talking to secretaries. They talking to teachers. And every teacher ain't a football fan, so they talking to everything. LT, we dealt with that, right? So, you know, it's just one of them type of situations where your character, like I said, even that video, that kid got a number on. Somebody know that kid in that kid's town. If I'm the high school and that kid that kid's in my town, I don't know if I want him on my team. I ain't got time for it. You know what I'm saying? Because I already know, like she said, this thing that he's got probably been going for a while. Like, as a youth coach, you got to hold yourself accountable and say, we are the foundation layers. We're the bricklayers. So we're going to make sure these guys understand what the standard is. I mean, when I was a youth coach, my goal was just to make sure these kids was ready for high school and not just by fucking running the ball and catching the ball. Mentally ready for high school, the standard, understanding what character is and respect means. Those things mean a lot, okay? And that's what you got to put out there. I remember we used to have a saying, Hawk knows it, at East Stars, was pride, discipline, and respect. Those are the three things that you had to have. Like, we try to drive those core values into those kids, you know what I mean? But that's what Little League is about. It's about building a nice, solid foundation. And then the high school just have to continue the standard as the standard is built. What you got, B?
So, two things. I know a coach that I coached with, and he had the same youth coach his whole life. They won championship after championship. He said he got to high school, he didn't know shit. They realized he didn't know shit. I was like, what you mean? Like, y'all won championship. He was like, I knew what he wanted me to know.
Right.
Then you get to high school and they talking this, that, and the third, and you don't know what the fuck going on. You know what I mean? So he said after like he did freshman, that sophomore year he couldn't keep up. So he said that he let it go.
Well, you know, look,
it's frustrating.
I told you when I first got to the next level, I had to get a whole subscription to Barnes and Noble, how to figure out 4-3 defense, the coverages, like you said. When I was youth football, it was man to man. I mean, it's youth football, right? Like, so I don't really have to
cover three. There you
right.
go.
I don't have to unload a lot, you know. Then I realized, well, we want to run cover 6. What the fuck is 6? I thought we only go up to 4. No, no, Don, sit down and just watch. Like, okay. But you know, that stuff that you know you might not, you know, in Little League. Listen, man, I got the fastest running back. Okay, I got the most violent defensive guys. I'm gonna probably win a title. It's youth football, right? The next level, when you have to spar with guys like the young man over there with the Spartans hat on, you got to bring your hard hat, your lunchbox. He ain't gonna just let you just do what you want to do. He's a defensive guy. He's gonna take away your best option. He's going to make you have to use somebody totally different to win the game that night. And he's going to adjust. What you see from the first I know you. What you see from the first quarter, you might not see that in the second quarter. And the halftime adjustment going to be a whole nother thing. So it's just one of those things when you getting certain coaches that, it's tough to understand how to think like that. When all you had to do is just run sweep left. like you said, we got the wishbone, so buck sweep right, we student body, get him out the way, and we're gone. Like that's different life, man. I mean,
yeah. One thing I don't like about the young coaches too, they always trying to change words. Buck sweep.
Why he do his finger?
Wait.
Inside zone.
Why he do his finger like that though?
Because he want to let you know.
Coach C.
Palms.
Coach C, listen, it ain't the young ones. Who brought palms into this shit? You know what I mean? It's them old heads at Alabama. Look, what's cover 7? You talked about 6. Who brought up cover 7? Saban. You just renaming the same shit to another number. Okay,
we're going to do a whole another 3 hours for this.
The biggest thing I learned when I got out of my coaching bubble, out of my little area, was that terminology, words in football mean not a damn thing.
Nothing.
Not a thing. The numbers don't matter. The words don't matter. Terminology don't mean shit. And it ain't the young ones. It's all the old guys that have trees. Y'all have trees of coaching, right? And us young guys are still trying to cling on to one of them trees. Put some love over here so we can become a fruit of that tree.
Right.
Y'all's terminology is whack. Oh, that's West Coast terminology. What the fuck? When does it start? Is the Rocky Mountains?
I got them turned up, dog. That's what I'm talking. I got them turned up. Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. Yeah.
I'll be honest with you guys. We talked about character and hiring young coaches versus old coaches. I walked away from an OC job this year because of the character in the building was low.
Yeah.
But terminology wise, I got told in spring practice we had to simplify. So I cut it back to like 2 run plays, 2 pass plays. That's simplification, right? It wasn't enough. It was the terminology. So that's where this all attaches. It's right back to the terminology. Wow. My terminology was different, and that wasn't simple enough. You know what I mean? And it's just words. It's words, man. Run left is this, and run right is that, and it needs to be numbers. Oh, so it's got to be your system. It ain't simple.
There you go. That ego.
So terminology is a motherfucker.
Yeah, it is. It is. Like it could take. Look, you got to be patient, coach. What you want? What is that? Because I might know it as one thing, and you calling it something totally different. So help me understand that. But I'm gonna break it down. LT, I'm gonna give you the floor first. I don't know how much more time you got left on the battery, man. Speak up on what you got going on. Introduce yourself. All season things, man. Like I said, I'm gonna give everybody the floor. Go, LT.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so this offseason, I got in the trenches defensive lineman training, teaming up with DM team this offseason. You can definitely link up with DM to get with me, and we'll go from there. The best defensive lineman training you're going to get in Jersey right here. We learning cut block. We learning zone blocking. We learning how to defeat the zone block, I should say. Change of direction. And I've been talking to my guy over there. I'm adding some strength and conditioning into mix too. So yeah, we getting right this offseason.
This offseason gonna be something special, you feel me? So make sure everybody tapping in. She, you already know, man. Drop the gem on how you doing your thing over there. You one of the top receiver coaches I got on my team. You feel me? Go ahead, big dog.
I don't want no credit for none of this, man. I'm just a vessel, man, trying to help these kids.
Yo, my man had a one-hand interception the other day. I said, I ain't gonna say nothing to she, because she gonna say, I don't want to hear all that. But it is what it is.
Hey, but this is a great panel. And again, my last word is your character lasts longer than your playing career. That's something I'm always gonna say. So who you are as a person, male or female, is gonna last longer than any career that you have. Because when you're dead and gone, what are people gonna say about you? Who's gonna be sitting in your funeral? So we all have a destination, but your character, who you are as a person, will last longer than any career, playing career, working career than you're gonna have. So that's my 2 cents. Get right or get left.
There it is. You already know. So now, hey, Dan, you already know. Speak on it. What you got?
Oh, man, we do all kinds of things in football. Athletic speed and movement, if you're looking to get your kids faster, agility-wise, it ain't all track speed, right? Football field's different. So athleticspeedmovement.com. We've had a gentleman doing it for over 45 years, was the very first speed coach in the NFL, worked with the Seattle Seahawks. So come on, jump over to the website and sign up there. I do 2 podcasts, the football coaching podcast with Joe Daniel. That's a really big show. A lot of guys have tuned in. man, I love talking. That's where I learned ball, really.
Right.
Started with him and co-hosting, and then he has JoeDanielFootball.com, which is where he teaches,
everything.
Amazing football, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about the 4-2-5, the 4-3, 3-4. There's probably another one in there I'm missing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, and then he's got an entire offensive system. You need gap scheme, you need zone scheme, you need passing route, whatever. Also do a podcast with Kenny Simpson called the Coaching 101 podcast. Jump over there and listen to us. That's me and a guy from Arkansas, so it's just a little different. Joe's in Virginia, Kenny's in Arkansas. We just talk a lot of the same topics, but we have different perspectives, right? Just really, really good to go there. I will leave you with just extreme ownership, right? Own everything. Everything is your fault. If it ain't your fault, find a way to make it your fault and then fix whatever that problem was. And the Patreon, go to the Patreon, Chamberlain Football Consulting, patreon.com/Chamberlain Football Consulting. I can help you as a parent, as a kid who wants to learn ball, as a coach who's struggling, head coach, an administrator, whatever your thing is. There's a tier there for you. If there's not one, DM me and I'll make a tier for you.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. And y'all already know. I don't know. Do we got Nasir still on? Who's in the room right now? I don't want to miss out on nobody. Nasir, go ahead, man. Tell them about, where they can find you at, what you got cooking. Let us know.
First and foremost, I just want to say it was a pleasure being up here, man. I think one thing about me, like as a young coach, I think what made me successful up until this point is just being humble. What I mean by that is like really just keeping my ears open. Like anytime is somebody talking, I'm always receptive. I'm always listening. I can always take and learn from different people. So it was definitely a pleasure and an honor to be up here with you guys and just you get what I'm saying, like expanding my horizons, expanding the knowledge that I'm getting. Because again, like you can learn from everybody. I'm at Caldwell University right now, Division II sprint football in Caldwell, New Jersey. It's my first college football gig. I've been at Newark Eastside for the past 4 seasons, been a part of flipping that program around. And I'm just grinding, man. I'm grinding, trying to make something out of this coaching thing. So
you already know, man. That's how it go. I don't know where Hawk at. Hawk and Dan they try to take over the show a few times, LT. Where his ass at now? Let him talk right now.
Hawk out of here, man. Don't try to look for the boogeyman. Don't look for the boogeyman.
Nah, I ain't looking for Baba Yaga. I'm gonna let him have his time, man. Like I said, y'all know who I am, man. I'm the guy, man, just trying to put it all together, get everybody connected with some serious resources that can help their kids move forward in the next levels, So anybody trying to subscribe, like, follow what we got going on here, the Coach's Corner is every 2 weeks on Sunday at 9 p.m. I'm going to be starting to post topics during the week. We'll have certain recaps, clips of this show popping off on my Instagram and my Facebook. If you want to follow the Instagram, it's DMFootball258. My Facebook is Driven Minds. Please just tap in. Questions, comments, concerns, sponsorships. Anybody want to jump in, please jump in. Like you heard LT said, this offseason is going to be magical. I'm going to have some really, really, really dope things going on at center court, okay? And again, so you're looking for defensive line training, you're looking for strength building, you're looking for core enhancement, all of that type of stuff. We're going to be having that going on. Obviously, we still keep some guys around different networks. We have, as you see, Coach Sheed. He does a good wide receiver training, defensive back training over at Pro Edge. Those are my dudes over there. Good dudes, good brothers to me, McDonald. I also got some other brothers, Jared Rogers. He does some DB stuff over there with Coach Reg Foxworth, ETS. Some pretty good dudes. They're doing running back training over there. Again, it's a lot of people out here that can help, but you got to want to help, okay? My thing is you can't have the success without the process. Got to put it all together. Got to have the process in order to have the success. So make sure that everybody making sure they do their due diligence. Fellas, I thank every one of y'all for coming on the show. Appreciate you, like I said, like none other. Brandon, you already know how Big Salute shoot. You feel me? It's
Yo,
just.
the Giants just lost this game, yo. I'm mad at you right
But
now.
I don't want to hear. I want to hear about. I told you it's a heartache for us.
Yo,
This
y'all
is tough.
the man. The ball was on the ground. Y'all couldn't pick it up, and then y'all give it back to them, and they scored. Come on, yo.
Hey,
We need
man.
the Bengals to lose.
In typical Giants fashion, baby. I mean, who was expecting anything otherwise? You know what I mean? Don't worry. We're gonna bring. We're gonna tank these next 2 years. We bring an Arch Manning in. It's gonna go down.
Can we not mention Texas players, please? It was OU Texas weekend. I'm still sunburnt from
Bro,
the
you
game.
still
I
sunburnt.
cried.
Rings out.
I drank
Put the
beers.
rings out.
You see how you do,
Yo,
LT?
someone was in my
You want me to
man.
push the button? Just say push the button. I'll push the button. God
Let
damn
it rock
it.
out.
Push the button.
He let it rock out the whole show though. So he.
Listen, I got it. I don't feel like getting up, man. I ain't got time. I ain't got time for these dudes. You feel me? We on the hunt for the new one, baby. Right, she 2025. 2025 when we gonna hunt that down. But like I said, man, again, fellas, thanks a lot. Anybody, if you want to come back on, like I said, next 2 weeks, we're gonna do it. Anybody got some suggestions? Dan, I'm gonna try to get that kids on huddle. I see you in the chat. I want to see if I could dissect that and try to see what schools I know that's interested in looking for something, because a kid like that sounds like a kid that need to be found.
It's just it's pretty boring when you get on there. It's a whole bunch of like 40 to 80 yard touchdown runs. I don't know.
Hey,
pretty boring to watch, honestly.
Hey man, listen.
That ain't boring to the right coach.
You already know, but again,
are we recruiting the running back or are we recruiting the offensive line?
I mean,
Hey,
right
you
now,
can get them both, baby. Hey, it's a discount deal. You come in, you take one, you get the other. You know what
I mean? Somebody might be nice up in there. I'm gonna get it all if I can. You feel me? But again, fellas, like I said, thanks a lot for pulling up. That's the show, man. Next 2 weeks we'll be back live 9 o'clock on what we on, man. I think we on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. I got the best engineer in the building, man. He putting me out there, y'all. I'm telling you.
That's what I like.
You already know.
So the next day is the 27th.
Hey man, listen, I go trick or treating before the show. You feel me?
All right. So I was talking to DM in the text message thing. So I know we was talking about the kids. So if y'all got any kids that want to do a 1 or 2 minute promo video with their information, contact, so we can throw it up there. If we can reach the masses.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we're gonna definitely jump on that. You know what I'm saying? I got a few lab rats around here. You got to give them the stuff to do, and they'll do it. You know, and maybe it'll help. It'll help them too. You know what I'm saying? Getting them up there talking and understanding what it's about, showing the character live on camera. You know what I mean? So that's what that's about. But you already know, like I said, that's a wrap. Love everybody. Peace for coming out. Go ahead, B. You can hit the button so we can talk casually as we